Today, we're just one round away from playing our first ever PGA Tour event. Man, that sounds surreal. Guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's gonna be a really special video for me as we are playing for a spot in a PGA Tour event, the Bermuda Championship in November. It's the PGA Tour fall season and competition golf is back. We're gonna give you guys a little bit different style video today, commentating and going over each one of my shots from our Monday qualifier. If you haven't already, check out our pre-qualifier video shooting 68 to move on to here. And today is gonna be special because I get to play with two guys that have PGA Tour status, one that has made north of $5 million on the PGA Tour and one that has played in the Masters. It's not Brad Dahlke, but very similar, I would say. This is a really special round. I had my brother on the bag, my family came out to watch, my wife, and then obviously my mom, my lucky charm. So really excited about this one. We're gonna head straight into the video and just give you guys a little bit insight of how I was feeling, the shots I was playing, and all that. And it's my dream. It's my dream to get a taste of professional golf, whether that's to play on tour, whether that's to play in one event, whether that's to just, you know, keep capitalizing and maximizing our potential in golf. So, you know, God has the plan for us and we're just gonna keep on keeping on. So here we go. Country Club of Winter Haven, teeing off at 9:20 a.m. on hole number 1 here. Let's go, baby. So first things first, I really want to say I really enjoyed this round. Really, I had a great group, great pairing, Doc Redman and John Augustine. And hole number 1 here is a par 4, 430 yards. And I'm gonna be honest, we're getting better at the first tee shots. I did go with the bread and butter 2-iron and just striped it right down the middle of the fairway. I think my brother liked that one quite a bit. I'm not too good at the first tee shot, so got to keep on getting better. But this had a chance. I'll be honest. 125 yards with a 54-degree, perfect number. Landed it just past, and look at this. Lipped out for eagle on the first. Oh my gosh. Me and Alec were like sitting there. Like, what would have happened if we hole out on the first hole? Oh my gosh, that would have been crazy. That would have been a wild start to the day, I'll tell you that much. But now we got about, that spin was insane. And I was telling Alec we're gonna probably have to control our spin today, hit a lot more knockdown shots. It was wet, the greens were receptive. Had about a 15-footer up the hill and barely missed this one, probably about 6 inches out to the right. And what I've loved to do in tournaments is no matter how far away I always mark it. Obviously, if it's like this far away, I'll tap it in, but if it's probably 6 inches or more, I will always mark the ball. I've missed way too many in college, way too many in amateur events, so good par to start the day. Could have been eagle, but you know what? It's a good start. I've notoriously had way too bad of starts to start my tournament or competition round, so par is always good there. We have a 160-yard par 3 here. Stock pitching wedge for me, just kind of push this one out to the right, and if you can see on the green right there when we zoom up, both John and Doc hit it to like 5 feet, and I'm just sitting here at this point. They both made, I think one of them made birdie on the first and the other made par, and they're coming to fire. And I was really stoked to play this round because it's teaching me where I need to go with guys that are on the PGA Tour and have status. So we have a birdie putt here from about 30, probably 25 feet. And I thought this was gonna sling a lot to the left and it kind of just stayed out there. So, you know, when I'm playing the first couple holes, I really like to address and, you know, observe how the course is playing, how the greens are rolling, and just really, you know, see if I need to keep playing more break or play less break. So 2 pars to start. Not too bad at all for our competition round. You know, Monday qualifiers, I'm thinking 6, 7 deep. Might take it. So it'll be interesting today to you guys to see the final scores of this video. But Par 4 here. This is probably one of the hardest holes on the course, I would think. A lot of trees overhanging. It's a par. It's like 470 yards, and I just went with my low tee fairway finder. I told Alec I wasn't really comfortable over that shot, so I just went with the low tee and just tried to get in play, and that's exactly what we did. So 9-iron here from 165 and flat out chunked this ball. I'm lucky I even got contact with that one. I hit it I had 165, I believe. I hit it about 145. So we had about a 60-foot putt all uphill for our birdie. And at this point, like, I'll tell you guys this, I was probably the most comfortable that I've ever been to start a round. I'm usually like pretty amped up. I'm coming from football, like I just want to run down on kickoff and just hit people, but in golf, unfortunately, that doesn't help. So I have about 60 feet here, and I felt, or feel like, when I am in competition, lag putting seems to creep up on me, and especially early in the round when I'm not too comfortable, and I feel as though the jerks come out a little bit. So that was a rough putt there from 60 feet. I put it to about 8 and then missed this one coming back. I just didn't give myself a good look to, clean up the par and then make the bogey there. 3-putt. Classic Evan Thompson golf right there. Tell you what, need some help. If any of you guys are putting coaches out there, leave in the comments. Your boy would really appreciate it. But par 5 here. Move on. Mind of goldfish. I felt like I've gotten a lot better at that over the years. Is when I make a mistake or make a silly bogey, just move on and on to the next hole. Your next swing is your best swing. So your next shot is your best shot. So I hit this drive I thought was absolutely perfect. Just catches that little rough patch over the bunker, and we were like buried deep. And I was like, Alec, I feel like I could get this to the green. And just hacked away at that one. I had 230, and I hit a 6-iron just short of the green. So I was pretty stoked about that. These lies here in Florida, obviously growing up in Orlando, I know that Bermuda is going to be really tumbly or really catch those big flyers. So really good shot in there. I had about 30-yard pitch shot just straight up the hill. Just wanted to land this just short of the ridge and kind of feed it down to the flag. And we did just that, and I put it to about 6 feet. Great uphill look at birdie. Alec was pretty impressed with that one. Thanks, Alec. I needed that one big time for the morale. And then, bam, get this one to go. Mind of goldfish, look at that. You come off a 3-putt bogey, and you put it past you, and you make a birdie. So we get back to even par. And this is where it gets exciting, boys. This is where it gets exciting. So par 4 here, 302 yards on the card, I believe, or when I was shooting it. And Alec was like, 3-wood or driver? I was like, in a Monday qualifier, you just got to take advantage of holes like this. So we went with the driver. Had a little bit of cut on it, but look at that. Look at this. Just right of the hole, 20 feet, 30 feet away for eagle, driving the green on the 4th hole here. And what I've noticed too is that all of the, like, when I get in these events, not to say anything about anybody else, but I feel as though I can hit it just as good as any guys that have status or that in these qualifiers. And shout out Doc. Shout out Doc Redman. He was in the hazard to the left. Awesome guy, by the way. Stand-up guy. He's one of the best guys I've ever played with. And he took his shoes off on the 4th and told me it was going to get a little muddy. So that was pretty cool. But eagle putt just comes up a little right. Alec and I were very confused. I'll tell you that much. I hit that putt, thought it was dead straight, and it went about 4 feet to the right. But nonetheless, clean up for a birdie, back to back. Get to 1 under par through 4. So kind of cooking right now. Outside of that 3-putt, I felt like we were, playing some good golf. So par 3 here, 198 yards. I just went with the stock 7-iron, and Chris did a great job. Shout out Chris for documenting this. Caught it decently. I kind of towed it, so it came up a hair short, probably about 30 feet short of the flag. But all in all, I feel as though playing these types of qualifiers and these types of competitive golf is just getting me more and more experience to maximize my potential in this game. And who knows where I end up. I could end up the same I am now. I could end up, competing on majors or, competing here on YouTube Golf for ages and years to come. So I thought I hold that one, to be honest with you. Thought I hold that birdie. But just ended up a little long. And that's what I was saying about the lag putting. I feel like early in the rounds, I'm not, kind of as comfortable or as locked in. Gave myself a slippery 5-foot putt down the hill, and man, that feels good to get to go. That feels really good. So stay at 1 under par through 5 holes, and that's what I was telling Alec there. When I feel the lag putting, especially over like 20 feet, I feel like right when I get to the ball, I just kind of like give it a little bit more oomph. And that's why I always hit my chips and my lag putts way too hard. So, man, this was an interesting hole for me. Dogleg left, par 4, and I was kind of indecisive on the tee shot, boys. Led me astray a little bit, hit it just underneath this tree. Absolute awful break. We couldn't, that was the only tree right of the bunkers, and we found it. I tried to just punch it out and chunk that one, but we ended up getting to the fairway, so it ain't really not that bad. But in a Monday qualifier, I heard the saying from George, if you're chipping, then you're probably not making a spot or grabbing a spot. So we had 165 left. I hit like a knockdown 8 and just came up pretty short. Ball striking has been relatively good lately, but early in this round, I felt like I've hit a lot of just toe balls and just come up a little short. Back-to-back iron shots that come up short. Got to make the change, and got to see where I need to improve. And this is cool. I really like, watching this video and commentating through it. And let me know. Leave a comment if you guys like this style of video, talking through my round with you guys. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. We got a lot of awesome stuff coming, a lot of cool competition and big matches ahead. So unfortunately, make a bogey there. That tee shot just put us in that position. Just really, really poor tee shot. So got to be better. And hole number 8. Wow, we're already here, I believe. Hole number 8, par 4, and just catch this right bunker. At the end of the day, I really just want to play my best golf when it matters. And I catch this bunker here, and what I really, really like to see is the improvement out of the fairway bunkers. I used to be so bad out of fairway bunkers, and I'm just really stoked to see. I had 170 left. I hit a 9-iron, and what I heard from one of my buddies before this round is to open up your knees a little bit when you hit out of bunkers, and it kind of quiets your lower body. And boy, I thought Alec and I had this putt perfect. It's kind of hard to see from here, but it was just a subtle break right to left, a little down the hill. And watch this one. Oh, man. Oh my goodness. I feel as though golf is a lot of momentum, and that right there, I felt like could have gave us a ton of momentum. Man, I'm the king of hitting lips, I tell you that much, because that one was so freaking close to going in. But nonetheless, another par, so stay at even. And man, I just tried to absolutely annihilate this ball. Just absolutely annihilate this ball. Catches the top of the tree, that second tree on the right there. I thought it was going to be middle of the fairway, but just those trees, Country Club of Winter Haven, they overhang a lot. And so if you hit a little bit offline, it kind of, catches those branches. So we had 190 left in this par 5. I hit an 8-iron trying to catch a flyer. I felt like I hit it great. catches that slope and kind of brings it back down. Pin high, not too bad. But boys, this is where I really need to improve. I feel like I've lost about 3 to 6 shots in the pre-qualifier as well as this Monday qualifier. I don't know why, but I just hammer my chip shots way too hard. But it's only in competition. Like when I'm playing outside normally or practicing or playing a match with, other YouTubers or creators or pros, I feel as though my chipping's good. And then when I get in tournaments, I just hammer it. So we left ourselves a really tough birdie putt. It was like on a ridge and just didn't read it right. And so another par. So turn at even par. And at this point, I told Alec, I said, we're gonna need a 29 or we're gonna need something on the back to go low. And we were just gonna go flag hunting because I told Alec, I said, I would say about 7 under. Usually I played a few Monday qualifiers. Those kind of are close to making it through. So onto the back 9, hole number 10. I believe John Augustine was at a couple over and Doc Redmond was at 3 under. So middle of the pack in the group, and it just shows me where I need to improve when I play with, people of this caliber, just a linebacker trying to make it over here. So hole number 10 here, par 4, 430 yards, I believe. Driver, I had about 140 and another toe ball coming up short and just leave ourselves with a really, really tough putt. And that's what I really got to get better at is the dispersion into the greens. I'm just not giving myself the best look at birdies and then lag putting. I think this is the 3rd or 4th lag putt that I've left with a lot of work left. And I can't do that. If I want to compete in these qualifiers, I cannot do it. I mean, in tournaments, it might be okay, but in qualifiers, I got to go 6, 7, 8 deep, and it's not going to cut it. So tap in bogey there, 3 putt. It's classic Evan Thompson golf there. I got to get rid of the 3 putts, and then we'll be golden. So it's been my kryptonite for my whole career. But par 5 here. Let's get a birdie on the board. Look at that ball flight. That was good. Try to hammer that one. That was the take some of the stress out the ball right there. And shout out the dual shorts. Full apparel line coming out in November. Really excited about that. Wearing the new vintage logo pattern shirt we got coming, and as well as the military vest I have on now. And we'll have shorts and pants. So I'm really excited and getting some athletes and just bringing this cool, affordable brand to you guys. I'm really, really stoked. It's growing like crazy. So, and it's all thanks to you guys. So really appreciate it. So par 5 here. I went right underneath that one. I tell you what, that was not very good. I hit a 2-iron just over the bunker and then had like a pretty straightforward chip shot in the rough, and I just went right underneath it. Just clipped the legs off it, and then had a really, really another one just grazed the lip. So that is a par there when both of my playing partners made birdie. I think it's relatively straightforward par 5, and that's where I feel like my game loses shots is when I have an easy par 5. These guys are coming away with birdie or eagle, and par or bogey is what I put on the scorecard. Cannot be doing that. Cannot be doing that at all. Just silly mistakes that I can clean up and just keep on getting better over time, which I know will come. I know we keep putting ourselves in these situations. We keep practicing, and the sky's the limit. So par there, so bogey on 10, par on 11. We have a birdie putt here on 12, 215-yard par 3. So I hit a 6-iron about 30 feet short. And another toe ball. So at this point, I'm trying to tell Alec, like, do I stand closer to it? Do I try to, make the change to get ourselves to hit it more solid, and almost got that one to go again. So that was about 8-inch out to the left that kind of thought it was going to go left, but thought it was going to go right, but just stayed out there. So par on 12, that's a tough hole. Bunkers right, water left. So But now I want to do another par 5. There's 3 par 5s on the back 9 at Country Club of Winter Haven. Gave that one the business again. I'm just like, at this point, just want to make a ton of birdies to come home and finish strong. And it's perfectly right down the middle of the fairway. 235 yards. Yeah, I had a perfect number for a 4-iron and chunk. Oh, I gotta slow it down, dude. I gotta slow down my tempo. I gotta figure it out, because I mean, that's another chunked iron shot today. Ball striking was not there, and I want to tell you, we were playing lift clean in place today, which means that you can obviously mark your ball, clean it, and place it back down, and that really helped with the chips, especially that one right there. I had a lot of mud on that ball, but I was able to clean it, and then, hey, hit a good chip shot. Shows improvement right there. So clean up for the birdie, get one to go. Hey now, got back to even on the back 9, so even par on the round. I think a lot of the strides I've made is mentally. Coming off a chunked 4-iron, not letting that get to me, hit a pitch shot to about 4 feet and getting it to go. So even par, at this point, I kind of know that not really gonna Monday qualify, but at this point, I would just want to finish strong. I just want to tell myself to keep going and keep working. There's a lot of improvements to be made, but always just want to finish around strong and keep on going. So it hit a pretty big cut here to the right of the trees, or to the right side of the fairway into the trees. And we had about 100 yards left. Hit it pretty solid, just to the right, lob wedge up and over these trees. Really just had to elevate that ball really quickly. Pretty solid. You see Doc's shot in there. These guys are good, man. I tell you what, Monday qualifiers always teach me 3 things. Golf is expensive, golf is hard, and these guys are freaking good. I just watched Doc Redman. He's been on tour for a while. Just your easygoing, casual 4 or 5 under par, and didn't make it. I felt like he didn't make anything. And he's made north of $5 million on the PGA Tour. Made about like 65, 70 cuts, and he was a blast to play with, and just really gave me a lot of insights. But tap in for par there. On hole number 14, I believe, or 13. So still at even at this point. So through 14, even par. You know what? My bad rounds are coming down, and that's what I'm really, really excited about. When I am in trouble, or I am having not my best ball striking day, either the chipping's there to help out, the putting's there to help out a little bit. So I've been seeing a lot of my bad rounds come down from like 75 to 80 to 70 to 75, which is great. That shows improvement. It shows where I have been practicing and grinding. So par 3 here, 215 yards again. I hit a 6-iron, pulled it left. Again, another toe ball, and hit a great chip shot up there to about 1.5 feet and tapped in for the par. So really good chipping display on the last couple holes, 15 and 13 there to get up and down. So really, really pumped to see improvement there. And then really tried to hammer that one again. And man, I just, watching my swing back, I feel like I'm gonna have so many back problems coming down the stretch of my golf career, I guess. I swing so hard at it, and I personally don't, I got like an 80%, 90% swing in my head, and it did not look like that. So I don't know how this happened. We hit the top of the tree, or the right of the tree, and we went backwards into the tree and landed in the base of it. But that's golf, right? I don't know. Alec was like, do you want to take an unplayable? And I was like, how about a lefty swing here? Turn the club upside down, and hey, the athlete's got to come out at some point. And that was pretty solid. I think that was a way better punch-out lefty than I did with a right-handed swing. So we got ourselves out onto the fairway, 125 yards, and that's my perfect 54. landed at about 130 and spun it back to about 1.5 feet. So gritty, just showing a lot of grit today. Able to get that one up and down. Man, just wasn't the sharpest of days today. But hey, I will take that all day long. When things aren't going your way, how are you going to respond? How are you going to fight through it? And impressed with the mental game more than anything, to not like get down on myself, because all these guys are firing birdies left and right. And man, another chunk, and that was pretty atrocious there. I was hit a 7-iron or 8-iron from about 185 on 17. I think we chunked at 40 yards. But it's a good day to work on our chipping. That's why I tell Alec, there's always a positive in everything. It's great way to work on the short game a little bit. I felt like this one was going to release towards the hole a little bit and just checked up on me, which is fine. I have about 8 feet for the par. But it's cool. It's cool to watch this back and just address and just kind of work on the things I need to work on. But hole 17 here at this point, this is for par here, and just going to come up short and tap in for bogey. So that goes us to 1 over par. And obviously it could be way over par, it could be under par, but you know what? This experience is going to, take us and continue to build brick by brick, day by day with these competition golf experiences. I feel like you can never do enough learning from these experiences, and I'm just really pumped to be in this position to, obviously pre-qualifier to get into this, and par 5 here to end, hole 18, 560 yards or 30 yards, and I tried to go right at this flag and pulled it left and hits the bank and kicks into the hazard. I was trying to end with the birdie to get myself back to even par, but hey, beggars can't be choosers. I didn't have my best stuff ball striking wise. Irons were off today, which is usually my best. If you guys have watched the channel, the strength of my game is ball striking. So taking a drop here, basically just going from the point of where I went in, club length, and then just chipping a putt and try to get up and down for the par. So, but unfortunately, not going to make it through to a PGA Tour event. But man, I'm just so stoked to have another experience under my belt and just keep learning from it. Just keep building it. And I guarantee you this breakthrough is going to happen at some point. And I believe that. And I hope you guys do too, following along, because it'd be really cool if a linebacker makes a PGA Tour event. I just want a taste of it. I don't really know where I want to go, really. I know obviously I want to have you guys a part of this journey, but I want to give a big shout out to Doc Redman and John Augustine. It was one of the best groupings I've ever had in like a qualifier or tournament setting. Doc was a great guy and just gave me a lot of cool insights into the PGA Tour. He'll be playing a lot in the fall on the PGA Tour, so you guys go look out for him. But that's it. That is our round. 73, 1 over par, and a lot to take away from today. Just really got to get better at ball striking. I felt like it was great coming into today's round, and maybe just slept on the wrong side of the bed, had a little bit faster tempo. Things get a little quicker in tournaments, but man, I really appreciate you guys for following along. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Really cool things coming up. Comment below what you guys want to see more of, if you want to see more of this commentary style video. But from 68 to our pre-qualifier to 73 in the Monday qualifier, unfortunately, not going to make it through, but man, it's just a blessing to be in this position, to have you guys along for the ride. We wouldn't be here without y'all. That's point blank and simple. Just really grateful and thankful for the opportunity. So until next time, we'll see you guys later. A lot of special things coming for you soon. So sit back, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.